Welcome to this 20th session of the SAM monthly best practice webinar. My name is Nicolas Rousseau. I'm product manager for ITAM at Flexera, and this is my pleasure today to welcome Jan Bochers, who is a director in product management for ITAM, for this session on Java.
Thank you, Nicholas, for being here today. And yes, you're right, it's a hot topic.
Let's move on and like every month, go through the agenda of the session. So we will start with the last session's pointers and answers to questions. We will then cover the news, particularly the updates in the SAM Best Practice Hub and the next version and the coming version, which is ITAM 2022 R2.5, and also, for the on-premise version 2023 R1. And finally, we will spend most of the time for this session on Java. Jan will start with explaining the Java challenges and the January changes that Oracle introduced. And we will together cover how Flexera helps you keep Java under control through normalization, transparency, and through the embedded evidence or the embedded instance feature that allows to exempt based on the file path of the Java evidences. And finally, we'll check how licenses can help you making the counts on these Java liability. Last session was on the SAM Operations Hub. So the recording and PowerPoints are in this link. And so this is on the community, and you will see like every month in the section of the community called the hub, you will see the recording for this session. Just refreshing. You see, you will get the detailed agenda, you will get the recording, and also the presentation that was used. Moving back to the presentation, there was no question, so we can quickly move to the next slide. On the news side, the next version of ITAM, Cloud Customers or for Flexera Manager, will be end of May and June. Will include for the Cloud Customers some fixes, so a limited number of features versus the version you just got in April, end of April, that was containing particularly the SAM Operations Hub. For the on-premise customer, you will get all the features that got released since 2022 R2 in December of last year. So you will get the SAM Operations Hub, including the snapshot, the trend, the enterprise filter. You will get the Oracle Java Worksheet, and we'll talk about that today. You will get the trends in the SAM Optimization Hub. You will get all the Operations Hub reports, which are focused on identifying gaps for inventory or issues in data quality. You will get also the Intune inventory adapter, the inventory and compliance for Linux VMs on DDoS, very important expansion on what the Flexera agent and the license consumption can cover, and also the allocation reason that allows to explain why you allocated computers or servers to licenses. The SAM Best Practice Hub keeps expanding. So this is an article in the community that contains all the links to the past webinars recording. So just opening it. This SAM Best Practice Hub contains all of the sessions and will contain this session recording. And contains also many details on what Flexera has been working on for ITAM, including the hubs, the SAM Operations Hub, the coming SAM Publisher Hub, which we see a little bit lower, and this is something new that got added this month. More information on the SAM Publisher Hub, which is coming between Q2 and Q3 of this year. And finally, many details on the last hub that got released before the SAM Operations Hub, which is the SAM Optimization Hub. And many more links to articles or interesting best practices. So please have a look to this some best practice hub. It contains probably many links and reference to what could be of use for you. Okay, so this is it for the introduction and the context. Let's start the biggest part of this session, which is about Java, the new paradigm, and how Flexera keeps things under control. And I will let Jan give us, actually I will cover this agenda, which is very close to what I already said, which is covering the Java challenges. And Jan will start with that, how we got multiple licensing changes, various counting logics, all the challenge of licensable and freeware versions, and how it is challenging to track them. Java can be embedded as well as a component of a license application. And as a second part, we will cover how Flexera ITAM answer the challenge and address the challenge through normalization, transparency, the exemption by file path, and we will go through a step-by-step approach for creating licenses and do a short demo. So Jan, maybe can take it from here.
Yeah, thanks, Nicholas, for introducing that this hot topic around Java. So why is Java so important and high priority for many of our customers? So sure, we all know in 2019, Oracle has made JDK and JRE license able for all editions. And so this is back in 2019. So Java JDK 11, for example, is licensable. And you can see here a little graphic to show where the JDK or JRR is included. But what's now key, so is that Java is included in some of the license application, right? And that means, okay, this is the Java embedded topic, and that means that Java, there's no license relevance for Java embedded, and this could be applications from Oracle or other third-party vendors. So it's not as easy to say Java installation needs a license, right? We know that for sure OpenJDK is an option to theoretically replace Java, but in many cases, it's a really complex migration project. It's not as easy, in many cases, it's not as easy to easily replace or migrate to OpenJDK. So many software vendors have been or have offered this new OpenJDK alternative. So with Java, there are also commercial feature available, and these are not part of the OpenJDK, for example, right? So again, it's in many cases it's complex. It's not an easy one. But if possible, sure, OpenJDK is an option to replace. Back in January 23, and this is the massive change in license model. Oracle has made Java an enterprise user-wide subscription model. So I think you all have heard and read articles about that change and what it could mean for customers, right? So we know that customers with existing subscriptions in the old processor or the old named user plus model, customers can renew these subscriptions, right? So renewing mean keep staying on processor or not. And this is key to understand. And sure, for customers that are not subscribed, or what is if more licenses are required, right? So the risk to then be licensed under the full employee scope. This is really the changing moment, and we've talked to many customers and our customers to really understand what the impact will be, right? So it's hot topic, and many in some companies it's priority one to really get transparency or to manage now the Java challenge before accepting the risk to a license on a full employee mode. And full employee mode means, okay, it's not only full-time users. No, it's per user. It could be part-time user. It could be external contractor. So yeah, it's a lot. And this new model replaces then the old processor and named user plus. Okay, let's go to the next slide, because here we see good overview of the answers. How we as Flexera, how we help you to keep Java under control. So first of all, Flexera, our tooling, our solution, ITAM, and Flex Manager Suite, both are Java verified. We will have a look why this is key, why this is important and provides value. Next is around transparency. So transparency is key, right? So it starts with transparency, data accuracy, and transparency. We're introducing an Oracle Java Worksheet, which is a report to provide exact data that is gathered and collected for all Java installations in your IT estate. There's also another slide where we'll have a deeper look on the Oracle Java Worksheet. And new means it's available for our ITAM customers and will be part of the next on-prem release for Flex Manager Suite. Next in the transparency area is the existing application transparency report, which is showing and helping you and the key question of embedded Java instances. So we will have also a log, and this was introduced, or have been introduced back in 21. But it's still relevant to really manage the Java embedded challenge. So next key topic is about the question, is a Java instance license-able or non-license-able? And there are many different versions, build numbers, where you need to distinguish between the two possibilities. So our L recognition or application recognition library provides the insight here and normalize and classify the evidence in the two categories, right? So this is a key value. And as mentioned, the embedded instances, how to manage embedded instances. We will also demo this in some minutes. So combined to the application transparency report. So this is really important to understand. Only if all Java instances on a specific server are exempted, let's say by an embedded license, then or its embedded question, then yeah, the server is clean and no license requirement is needed. And so I think these are the two key directions, right? If you are on existing Oracle Master Agreement contract, including a Java subscription, then you still are you still are able to license for desktops and servers, right? So servers on the Oracle processor model and desktops or clients on the named user plus model. And the other option is if you have no subscription prior to the change back in January 23, then for an installation of Java, of license-able Java, would make the difference to then need a subscription for a full-time, let's say, for a company-wide user model. I think this is the understanding we all have, and this is the fundamental change. So As mentioned, Flexera is Java verified. Verification, Oracle or Java verification is about gathering or collecting the data Oracle ask for. And this is, first of all, file evidence only and additional fields or additional options. Additional option means it's including the path, for example, which is also part of the file evidence. But there are other options, and you will see that in the Java Worksheet report around mission control or AMC or other commercial features in use. So this is additional data detection, data gathering as part of the data collection. As you can see, it's on the right-hand side, so there are some screenshots. So you can easily, with the version, you can easily decide which data should be part in the Oracle Glass Audit Report. The Glass Audit Report is a zip file containing the relevant data. And you can decide, should it be database only, as we see here on the screen, or is it middleware or Java, all three, only one, or a combination. So you have full control to decide which data should be in the Glass Audit Report. And as you can see, you can easily download under the Oracle instance section, which is not new, so only to give you here all what you need. In a summary, Java verification means you know exactly what data is collected, is gathered for Java, and the resulting file is a CSV file in the Glass Evidence Report, and the Oracle Java Worksheet is a report in the UI where you can track and see the data, right? So as a result, you know exactly where Oracle Java is installed, meaning based on the verified data gathering.
Thank you, Jan. So thanks for covering, the various elements where Flexera can help, and I will deep dive a little bit into the normalization, into the transparency, and then Jan will discuss a little bit more about this Oracle Worksheet, Oracle Java Worksheet new report. And I will quickly go through some demos. So here, this first slide shows what are the patterns for recognizing Oracle versions. The rule stated by Oracle was anything released after 2019, which is the line in the sand decided to draw, will be licensable, while everything released before can stay unlicensed, or it doesn't require license. It's still freeware. So I will not go one by one on each of these patterns, but you see each version, basically, when 2019 happened, was at a given, version /update/build, and everything which was before 2019 got public. That's what you can see with, let's say, for instance, Java 5 until update 2022, or Java 8, which was maybe more deployed update 20 until update 202, or included. And then, everything that got released after, which means hot fixes and security fixes and so on, or new versions, Java 11, for instance, requires a license. So this is what we do in the recognition. So here we are on the detail of the Oracle Java Platform 8 standard. Which is the commercial version of Oracle Java Platform. There is another product called Oracle Java Platform Public 8 standard, for instance. So here, this one does not require license. And if you go to this license or commercial version of Java Platform Standard 8, you see that we have these patterns reflected in the recognition and particularly in the versions with the wildcards. So it's a little bit complex, but we have paid a lot of attention to catching everything related to Java, but also Java W.exe. That's the next slide, which we'll discuss about very recent changes we have made on the Java recognition. And you see that based on the updates, but also on the builds, we can determine, if a version is, commercial or not. And more recently, or actually not so recently, it was back in 2021, Unix recognition has been enhanced with the agent that now runs a Java version command and collects the full version and creates file evidences, which can be as well recognized through the classical application recognition, library recognition, and that can be managed also with the exemption by file path that I will develop a little bit later. So the first step, which is understanding what requires or not a license, is addressed by this recognition and by the use and the focus on Java W.exe, which is a non-console version of Java, and Java.exe, which is the more classical file that everybody knows. And we have recently decided not to use installer evidence because they were causing false positive, particularly the Oracle Universal Installer, OUI evidence. If you uninstall Java, it will stay forever. So this is something we have stopped using. So this is about the recognition, but there are more steps, and let's move on. More steps. So before I move to the next steps, which are the exemption by file path, for instance, let's keep in mind some Java changes that the 2740 version of the ARL brought. It was something like end of April. It was end of April. We have a content blog that posts that gives all the details. But basically, we have created a new Oracle Java unmanaged application that you see here, which is freeware. It may become no classification at all. And the idea that this application is gathering all the installer evidence for all the commercial versions of Java, commercial versions. So you will have a mix of Java 6, Java 8, and basically this application is not to be tracked. If you just focus on Java platform, you can track perfectly your Java compliance, but we have kept, this application to let customers eventually to have a look to possible false positive brought by installer evidence. So it's one more transparency that we bring. You can check for this application, which is Java unmanaged. And you can even, if you want, add the flag, which is collect import detailed evidence that will show all the records, all the raw evidences that have been found on servers and computers for this installer evidence. And the idea that we have sort of this bucket application, which is not so interesting, and then the file evidence and the Java platform are focusing on the two files, which are useful. And just by monitoring Java platform standard, you get the full vision. And I want to go back to the little schema that Ian was showing a little bit earlier. So it could be confusing. We have in the ARL an application called GRE. We have a JDK, Oracle Java JDK. I would say if you manage your Java compliance, just focus on Java Standard Edition, Java Platform Standard Edition, which is itself focusing on Java.exe and Java W.exe. You will get the full picture because anyway, with the GRE or with the JDK, you have Java.exe. So really, the more focused and the more precise you will be, the better you will get Java under control. So don't spread your efforts. Okay, so let's move on. Once you have this in mind about the Java normalization and the Java recognition, some advice that could be very useful. You need to use a recent agent first. Indeed, on Unix, the agent has been enhanced in 2021 R1 to run a Java version command line on Unix and collect the full version of the evidences as well as the path. So if you are using an agent, let's say 2019 R2, the agent on Unix will eventually bring the typical Unix evidence, let's say bin/Java with a full installation path before, but you won't get the version. So all the topic about normalization and recognition will fail. So really use a recent version of the agent. Another good reason to use a recent version, or even a very recent version, 2022 R2, is that the additional data that you can actually set on the inventory settings. This is in the agent inventory settings, this part. This data can be collected only by the very recent versions of the agent after 2022 R2. And this includes, EMC agent, mission control data, and the, commercial features that would have been unlocked. So you will see, Jan will show this Oracle Java Worksheet. If you don't use a recent version, there is a column that says, "Eps, be careful, not all the data could have been collected." So that's very important to think about using a recent version. Second thing, which is also in the title, if you don't use file evidence, just saw together that Java is all about java.exe and java.w.exe, you will not get the necessary data to catch what versions of Java have been deployed. So there are ways, of activating the file evidence collection. I would advise to do that. Some customers are a little bit concerned with the quantity of data it could bring. So here, there is, at the time you deploy the agent, you can use the include file command. It's one of the parameters that you can set in the NGS setup.ini. And there is a link here to the documentation. Or if you are on premise, you could eventually, that's a trick, but you can actually influence the inventory settings .xml that goes to the agents, and you can extend with, for instance, the ctracker include file that you would do for both Windows targets and for Unix targets. There are some targets which are defined in the database. If you do select stuff from target, there are some out-of-the-box targets. And it means, you don't have to collect the full quantity of file evidence. If you want to track Java, you can be more restricted, and you can do that through, at the deployment time, or even pushing to the inventory settings. So on this query that you see on the bottom, just keep in mind that this is interesting. There are many features that you define in the NGS setup.ini when you deploy the agents that you could actually spread in a central manner from the database to the agents with this type of extensions. Let's move on. Maybe another advice that somebody reported to me, which is quite fun. So this person had a Java non-licensable version on the demo system. So this is an old build of Java 8, which doesn't require any license. And every month, this person was getting the warning, do you want to upgrade Java? With a little warning that says, be careful, there have been changes in the licensing. And interestingly, in January, which is exactly when the change happened, the upgrade wizard was leaving two choices: install the new version or remove the old one. So just by closing, the person could have avoided. But we see here that there is a strong push to have customers upgrading to later versions, which means the need for licenses. I did not develop a lot when I was covering the versions of Java. Java 17 is public. which is interesting, but this is a quite, and you will find a lot of literature on that on the internet. Java 17 is public for a period of time. So if you have, no Oracle Master Agreement, you will be able to use Java 17 for free. I think it was a 1-year period where it's free, and then the next, updates will require licenses. Interestingly, if you have an existing Oracle Master Agreement, or if you already have some Java licenses, the fact you deploy Java 17 does not remove your need for licensing these deployments. So it's a quite complicated topic, but have a look to that. The big picture is Java now requires a license, and a version, the 17 version for a given period may not require one if you are in the right contractual conditions. Okay, so this is all about the upgrade. Let's move on and let's see, after the normalization, after the recognition, how Flexera helps you managing the embedded instances topic. It's a quite painful one. So first, there is a report called the Application Transparency Report, which has been released in 2022. And this report contains the link between the raw evidences and the recognized applications. So this report provides bits and bytes on what was recognized how, and maybe just stopping for a second, showing that in the UI. So if I go to the Flexera one, you will see that, let's move on, this report by default, which is, if you navigate to it, it's in the reporting, set reports, and in the applications. And you have this application transparency report. Here we go. And this report will show the raw evidence and their link to the recognized application. And what I just want to say that this is going beyond Java. By default, both Java public and Java commercial versions have the little flag that allow to recognize and to have this mapping of the raw evidence to the recognized application. But if I open in a new tab, you will see that any application that you have an interest on, and particularly when it comes to suits or complex recognition, DB2 could be a good candidate. You have this new flag. It has been introduced in 2022 that allows to extend the recognition of the raw evidence collection for the report to any application. So you can actually select multiple applications from the application screen or inside applications, and then you get this link, this full story, which shows, based on the installer and file evidences, the path. That's an important thing I'm going to insist on. And once you know the path and the recognized application, you are able to move to the next step, which is understanding what are the applications that have been deployed, understanding their installation path, which I will develop a little bit, can show you that this is an embedded version of Java. And we have a 3-step approach introduced in 2022 that allows to get the transparency. And you will see the Oracle Java Worksheet brings more to manage the what is called the exemption by file path that you can use on both Oracle processor and the user license types. This is a new, I will show it during my short demo. And you can, once you have defined some embedded path that you have identified and worked from this list, you will see that automatically the license reconciliation will exempt any server from consuming the Java license if each of the evidence linking to a commercial application of Java is embedded. So that's something you should try to use if you are focused on Java. It works well. I would say not everybody is using it yet, so that's very important to have a look to this feature. So what are the embedded paths? First, there is a product path. There is an Oracle product list. If I move away. Okay, so I have to go back. So here you have open link. So Oracle has published a list of approved products. Approved product A and product B, Schedule B, Schedule A, and each of these products, SQL Developer, very famous one, Oracle Database, the client, WebLogic, Coherence, GD Edwards. So you have a number of applications that are approved for, and that are officially acknowledged by Oracle to include Java for free. So once you know this list of products, the observation and maybe the best practice sharing helps understanding which are the installation paths. Typically, the Oracle DB client is Oracle product client JDK blah blah blah. CBEL is typically CBEL bin. So here there is a complexity between the Unix and the Windows file path that don't display the same, or a backslash and forward slash. So you can, product by product, make sure that if you recognize the installation path, you will add these paths as embedded paths. I will show you in the UI how it works. And typically, all IBM products have been acknowledged by IBM to include Java for free. So I put the link here to the IBM statement. Same on Symantec for Endpoint Protection Manager. So in the end, with a little bit of effort, with the use of these wildcards, the percent works, you can build a list of, let's say, 10, 15, 30 paths which are embedded, and then automatically the license will do the job of making sure that it doesn't count any licensable consumption once the conditions are met for embedded path. Flexera is not going to deliver this as a part of content because it's quite complex. For instance, you see on Endpoint, this is a very precise version which is delivered with Symantec Endpoint Protection Manager. So in the end, what we are going to do is sort of a community list that we are going to build together, and people will share what they have stated to be an embedded path. But this will not be Flexera's responsibility to state that anything included in a given path is, for instance, is coming for free. Okay, so maybe before we go to the Oracle worksheet, just wanted to show you one thing. If you go to license, if you go to a Java license, I'm anticipating a little bit on the demo, but you see that if you have the way you can define an embedded path is in the use rights and rules, and you see that both version, again with wildcard is possible, and path are can be defined for determining an embedded instance. So that's where it becomes very complex for Flexera. Let's say, for Symantec, this is an exact version. There could be a lot of details. So we count more on the contributions to make this list grow, and that's what we'll be working on. Okay, so I'm done with the embedded path and embedded instance and exempted path. Jan will now lead you through the Oracle Java worksheet.
Yeah, thanks, Nicholas. I think it's time to quickly recap, right? So our agents collect the data for Java that must be gathered. So we have file evidence and extra parameters, extra components. So we have then normalization, and I think the key question is a specific installation, a specific version and build number, license-able or not. We have with the application transparency report and the embedded Java question and possibility to define the exempted by file paths, a way to manage and handle the Java instances that are embedded and no license is needed, right? And what is now the Java worksheet, Java Oracle worksheet? In a nutshell, it reflects what's in the glass file and answer the question from all the areas I mentioned before, right? So the data that is collected is in the report. Is the data, if the data for a specific Java instance is not complete, meaning data is missing, there is a column incomplete
Want me to show
data.
you
Yeah.
want me to show the report?
Yeah, let's
Yep.
show the report. So you will find it in the report section. Java
So it's
worksheet.
in the compliance reports next to the Oracle database worksheet. And here we go. I'm just running the report and
Yeah, perfect. So yeah, the column incomplete data will show if data is not complete. And it could be, right, an older agent version, one possibility, or we will also show file evidence from other inventory sources like System Manager or other inventory sources to show, okay, we know there is a Java, but it's incomplete, meaning from what Oracle defines to be collected. Okay. So in addition to that, there are more relevant columns or fields in the report. So the open source here means only is it OpenJDK or not. That is a definition by Oracle. And other columns like the unlock commercial feature, mission control, AMC agent, or usage tracker. These are 4 relevant checks. Only the newer agent versions do on the device. And this is, let's say, mandatory. So the columns show the case that commercial features are used. Why is it important? Older Java versions, maybe 6 or the Java 8 before update to 11. So before Java become license-able in 2019, right? So if a commercial feature is used, then you must license or you must subscribe. So this is, and we know it was interesting to really understand why this is so important. So there are Java applications in the field running on the very old versions, right? So again, it's transparency. You see all the versions, the builds. You have all the details, and there is one key column, part of another product, which is the including the embedded Java capability from ITAM, from Flexera Manager Suite. So if it's accepted by file path, meaning, okay, you define the file path exemption because of embedded Java question, then you will see the answer exactly in the report, right? So again, all areas come together in this report, right? And it's exactly what's in the glass evidence file, with one exception, which is in the glass evidence file, only the data which is complete from the agent collected by the agent is in the glass evidence file, in the zip file, but you see more in the report because you can see and report and filter and work with the data. So Nicholas, also thanks for pointing the machine type. So other other columns directly coming from the device screen. So it's again, it's transparency showing here the data you can filter, group, and so on.
Okay, thank you, Jan. It really clarifies. And just to conclude on this Oracle worksheet, I would say trust what is done by normalization, because this is already doing a complicated topic of splitting between commercial versions and public versions, and consider this worksheet as a sort of an additional layer of to-be licensed installations, even if eventually there would be the version itself would be not commercial, but one of these flags is on. So you should, beyond the transparency this Oracle Java worksheet brings, catch the additional flags as sort of exception that should require an action quickly, because this is a risk for you.
Yeah, and thanks,
Okay.
Nicholas, for pointing that out, because currently these columns are not directly used in reconciliation, right, or in RL. So we plan to add this, but currently it's only showing in this report, right? So it's the only source for the additional columns.
Good, excellent. Thanks for this, Jan. I will move on a little bit, and I will be quite fast on the demo. But if we talk about the end-to-end process in ITAM or FlexNet Manager, the on-premise version, if you had the contract signed prior to January 2023, what you need to do is create two licenses, one for servers, one for desktops. You need to make sure that the server license consumes first. It's a little bit a complicated topic, but if you restrict a license, it will be better to have the server license restricted and the desktop license covering the rest, which is not based on the which is for all the machines that escaped the first server license. And then you can use the intelligent restriction. I'm going to show that in the UI. To focus the server licenses only on the servers, knowing that there is a new flag that is called is a server in terms of reporting, and you can then observe the raw file evidences in the application transparency report or in the Oracle worksheet, and you can identify the path and start to define the embedded path in the license. I'm going to show that. You can then tweak the exemption by path of the two licenses, just to make sure that you don't count needed licenses when these installations are related to the big ones, Oracle Client, CBEL, and SQL Developer, and wait for the next import, tweak again. So, I mean, the reconciliation will show the result of these embedded by path installations. If you are in if you had no contract prior to January 2023, it's easier, but more expensive. You can create one license, which is per user. You can observe the raw file evidences in the application transparency report on the Oracle Java worksheet. You can define the embedded path for this license. You can tweak and check again. And in the end, the license will not be able to count the consumption, because this is related to a number which is more an HR number, the total number of employees, including part-time. It could be the total list of users in Active Directory, but there are many technical accounts or admin accounts which would double count. So here, it's a matter of if the license shows any consumption, it means you need to pay for a number of subscription, which is that HR can provide you. So this is, of course, not what we want you to do, or you may have good reasons for licensing Java. We have customers who use intensively, and even the new licensing is a good news for them, because the price per user is not very, very high. But if you are in an approach where you want to avoid licensing Java, you can, with the license, as soon as it consumes, go to the installed Java and either uninstall, replace with OpenJDK or maybe some other Java distributions, Azure Java. I've heard recently from a customer, and then you will keep the use of what Java can bring as a free product without the full cost of licensing all your users. So on the demo side, I will be pretty fast. Just to show you, if I go back to the licenses, I will open the server license. And what I wanted to show first is this new restriction that has been introduced back in 2022 or so, so back in December. It's a very important feature that you can use for many things, including IBM prod non-prod, TIBCO prod non-prod, Java. Typically, if you have a Java Advanced Server in processor, Oracle processor, which is focused on the active servers. So here I'm seeing a list of reports. So you need to create first a report that has any filter you want. And here we have a very simple filter, which is called isServer. This is a new attribute that was added also in December. You take, the active servers, for instance, and then this license will never try to cover any Java installation on a machine of an operating system, which is Windows 10, Windows 7, or Windows 8. Or 11. So this is the restriction by the intelligent restriction. Second thing I wanted to show, if I go back to my licenses, I have another one, which is called Advanced Desktop. And you see here, for any license of user type or Oracle processor, when you open the use rights and rules, you can have and define this exemption by file path. There is a related documentation, of course, but basically, if you want to add, sorry, refreshed. If you want to add a new path, you can click here, and then you will have the choice to put with patterns. Typically here, it's not my demo system, but typically here I would do that. Okay, and eventually that. So here you get something generic, which would catch, any Java, and the version could be nothing or %. Exemption region DB client, Oracle DB client. So the activity consists in adding more and more paths and saving them. And the next reconciliation in the consumption, you can see, next reconciliation will catch the installations. And for computer A and computer C, which are nice demo computers in this demo database, you will see that they're exempted by file paths. And why this? Just because if I go to the, let's say, transparency reports, just because each of the raw evidence related to computer A or computer C, I will just filter on them. Computer A, for instance. So here it was simple. There was only one evidence. And you see the path exemption reason shows evidence by evidence why the Java is embedded or exempted. And you have this, you have another exemption label that says exempted, exempt yes. So this means the server got fully exempted for all the evidence that were found on the server. So that's why the license is showing an exemption on the server label, because here we had just one, so it was easy. But this exemption by file path, which is a generic, leads actually to each individual evidence showing an exemption for a specific reason that you define here in these use rights and rules. Okay, so I think that's what I wanted to show for today. We have covered the hour. Thank you very much, Jan, for co-presenting with me. That was a pleasure. And we wish you a good month, and we'll be happy to meet you again in early June. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.